Why make two stops when you could shop at two amazing stores under one roof? Visit Bolly Pops on Main Boutique and the Stitching Heifers in the heart of downtown Bushnell for all your clothing, accessories, and custom gear. At Molly Pops on Main Boutique, you can find stylish women's and men's apparel, novelty items, and the perfect gift ideas.
The Stitching Heifers is your one-stop shop for embroidered and printed hats, custom patch hats, and trending graphic tees that can be fully customized for you, your company, or your next big event. Whether you need a single design or a whole company's worth of branded gear, they've got you covered. Come see us at 110 Bushnell Plaza in Bushnell. Shop in-store or browse online anytime at mponmaine.com and thestitchingheifers.com. Welcome back to another edition of the Goblay Show. I'm your host, Billy Goble, and today we have a special guest. He's a good friend of mine and former South Sumter Raider. Without further ado, let's please welcome Mr. Thomas Williams. Thomas, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Billy.
How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Finally glad to be on.
I know, man. It feels like this is like a work in progress trying to get everybody on here at one time.
Yeah, you hit the ball off hard first episode with Coach Sherman. I was like, I don't think I'll ever be on. I don't know how I'm going to follow that up.
You know what's funny about that is Coach Sherman, when I told him about what we were going to do, he was like, I don't think he really understood what like podcasting was.
Yeah.
So he's like, is it going to be like a video? And I'm like, yeah, there'll be video and audio. And he's like, well, I just don't see anybody wanting to listen to us more than 4 minutes. It was like an hour and 45 minutes we talked. I'm like, once you start talking, you're good. You're good.
I listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
I learned so many things I didn't know about him. It was nice.
And that's the best thing about the podcast when you get people coming over and there's things that, like, I'm sure I'm going to learn things about you today that I have no clue.
Right.
And
just things that haven't come up before.
Exactly. Things that you wouldn't just particularly, hey, by the way, did you know?
By the way, I did this. Yeah.
Did you know in 8th grade
Yeah, exactly.
So how are you?
Good, man. Good. Working in the family business, things have been really nice and busy, and family's growing, kids are growing up. It's been nice.
Yeah, kids are something else.
They'll keep you busy. They will keep you busy.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
So Rowan's 3, and Radley is about to be 2.
About to be 2. Wow.
Yeah. Rowan's about to be 4, so they're almost 2 years apart.
I was going to say that's a good gap.
Yeah, Rowan was born on the 28th and then of March, and then Radley was born on the 18th. So they're like right there.
Wow.
At, about to be 2 years apart.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I mean and like you said, they keep you busy.
They do. They do. They do. Yep. They're in the wrestling phase where they just wrestle on each other all the time. It's great.
They're brothers, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell Rowan all the time, I said, you better get your licks in now because Radley's going to be bigger than you. So it isn't going to last long.
My brother's like, he's like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
And people are like, y'all are not related.
That's how I am with my brothers. Like, I'm the oldest of 6, and then all my brothers are taller than me, except the youngest. But I tell him, like, you're going to be the one that's shorter than me. You can't get taller than me. All the other ones are. I never look like the oldest when I'm around them.
Yeah, people they ask me all the time. They're like, "So you're the oldest?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I have a sister that's 18 months behind me, and then there's an 8-year gap after that.
Yeah,
the surprise.
Yeah,
my mom says the surprise.
The surprise. It's the nice way to put it.
Yeah. But it's good to have you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
As always, with any guest I have, I like to, get to know the person and introduce them to our community and the listeners. And so we like to go back.
Okay.
And are you originally from here?
Yes,
because I don't know all this. So this is
so I grew up here. Both sides of my family, mom and dad's, like almost 7th generation of Sumter County. So kind of settled this town. I grew up in Lake Pan. And went to Lake Penn Elementary, was homeschooled for a little bit, and then in 6th grade came back to public school at the middle school, and then went through the middle school and the high school, and graduated from South Sumter High. My current wife, Isabella, we got together my senior year of high school, and 2 weeks before I graduated, we started talking, and sent her a Snapchat on Mother's Day and had her hooked then. She never left. And dated through college, got married after college, and we came back home in 2020 after we got married when we found out we were pregnant with Rowan, and moved back to Bushnell. But yeah.
Are you getting her back from that TikTok video when you said your current wife?
My current wife, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get her back for that. She hit me. That was probably one of the. She never like pulls pranks on me ever. I never was not expecting that. She got me with that one. I hadn't seen that trend when she did that, so
that is so
I had
funny.
no idea.
Yeah, when you said it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a stab right there.
That was a little bit of a stab. Yeah. No, she loves me telling that story.
No, it's so funny. No, and I mean, who hasn't? I mean, there's been plenty of people that seen that video. So
yeah.
I mean, a little payback is great.
Just a little bit.
But no, she's sweet. She's great.
She is awesome.
I was gonna say you had no idea going through middle school that your father-in-law would be.
Had no idea. Had no idea that my
PE coach and football coach.
You know, everyone used to tell me growing up that I looked more like Coach Kinley's son than Reese, because Reese is a year older than me. So we, we played football and stuff together, and they would always joke that I was little Kinley.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's
funny. And now he's my father-in-law. So
yeah, you're like, well, that's. Yeah, y'all had it pretty much planned out for
me. We did.
Yeah, that's so funny. But as fate would have it, that's pretty ironic.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
Did you? What was the first sport that you ever played?
So I did not play sports until middle school. Okay. I didn't play any sports through elementary school at all. Really wasn't interested in anything like that. And just growing up, rode four-wheelers, played in the woods, hunted a lot. And then come 7th grade, my brother Daniel, he was interested in football. And it was like too late to try out for the middle school. And so he wanted to do Pop Warner. And so my parents signed us both up for Pop Warner. And I played 1 year of Pop Warner. I fell in love with the game. Like from the instant of the first practice, like I can remember the first practice, they just stuck me at D end. I was a small little kid out there, didn't know what I was doing. And the first time I hit, I was like, oh, this is a fun game.
Yeah.
And from then on, I was hooked. And so I played Pop Warner 7th grade, and then 8th grade I tried out for the middle school and made it. And since I had not really played football before, Coach Kinley didn't know what to do with me, so he just stuck me on the D end, and I was like, oh, I'm small and quick, and let me learn football that way. Well, then quick on into the season, he realized, okay, you're not going to play D end at high school level, so they switched me to linebacker. And I got to learn outside linebacker. And so then when I went on to the high school, we were playing the 3-3-5 stack. And Coach Lawrence was the defensive coordinator. Coach Sherman was the head coach. And so then I went to playing the Raider and Bandit, kind of a strong safety, kind of like outside linebacker too when you roll down into the box and stuff. And just it's a fun game. It's a fun game. And I picked up on it pretty quickly. I played football games growing up, and that I knew football from that, and but just for some reason never wanted to play until middle school.
Yeah.
And thankfully my brother was interested because I wasn't really the one that wanted to play, and after that I was the one that was hooked. Been hooked ever since.
You know, it's funny that you say you played DN because I coached Pop Warner.
Yeah.
And this upcoming next year will be my 6th year.
Yeah.
And Jace's last year, and I'm telling you, man, I've been coaching D-line the entire time, and I get all the small kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Do you understand what we're doing here?
We need some bigger guys up here.
Yeah. I get all the small kids, and but we make it work. And and it's good to know that I'm not the only one who went through that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've always been the small kid.
But I had some kids come up to me and they were, I'm like, I want them because I knew they, if you understand, I love kids that want to learn. Just like you said, you fell in love with the game, you wanted to learn. I like having and coaching kids that are willing to listen, learn, and look, don't get me wrong, I understand that kids and attention spans like this.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
So, but the ones who want to be great, learn and they figure out
yeah.
a way to,
Yep.
to understand. And
They're coachable.
yes,
They're
very coachable. I tell
Yeah.
Jace, my son, all the time, it's like, hey, be coachable. Don't
Be coachable.
do not tell a coach where you want to play. You go where you're asked to play.
Yep.
And
Yep, and those kids that don't understand that, it's teaching moments,
Absolutely.
This year with the middle school, there's a couple kids, that they always joke and be like, hey, I want to come play linebacker. I coach linebackers, or I want to come play running back. I'm like, look, Coach Kinley and Coach Werner have been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
I know I haven't been here a long time, but they know from like when you come into sixth grade, they have an idea where you're going to play. And it's not like, they're not playing favorites and stuff like that. They're putting the best players out there in the best positions for you to make plays, and help the team.
Well, you don't want to send a kid. I mean, and it always happens this way, but you don't want to send an undersized kid to go up against a bigger sized kid because you know what's going to happen. That's just common sense.
Yeah.
But like you said, when they step on the middle school campus, they're being sized up.
Oh yeah.
And from the get go, and they're like, oh my gosh, that kid. And sometimes they're right on the money, and sometimes they're like, oh well, that's not exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and we move players around, through the season. We're like, okay, we thought that they were going to be a DN, but it's like, okay, they, they're smart. They're able to handle. They could help us out at linebacker. Let's move them to linebacker.
Right.
Let's move them to O line. Let's move them around a little bit and find them the best position for them. You always have an idea, but during the season, it sometimes rotates.
Yeah, we tell I've told my D line, I'm like, look, D line is nothing flashy.
No.
There's nothing flashy about it. It's like O line.
Yeah.
There's nothing flashy around it. I said you might make a tackle, but you also might be the reason that someone else made the tackle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You are a vital piece of this.
Everybody has
puzzle.
a job to do.
Absolutely.
Everybody has a job to do. I love to tell the kids, like, I will praise a good block. I will praise, gap control and stuff like that more really than like interceptions and touchdowns. Because I'm like, those things are what lead to plays like that. You rushing the passer is going to lead to the interception. You making the key block is going to lead to the touchdown. It takes everybody.
Yeah, I love when the kids come over, they make a big play, and if it was because of somebody doing something out of that they don't think they did anything, but if it wasn't for them, this would not be possible. And I like to when they come over, I go, that was because of you.
Yeah,
that's because of you.
Oh yeah, I love to tell them that too.
They made the play, but because of you. You're the reason why we made that play.
That's right.
And I don't want them to. You have to do that because if not, it feels like it's a waste of
right. Then they think
effort.
only the kid that scores the touchdown gets the praise.
Gets all the glory.
No, it's like you made that block. The kids don't get to see it, but when we watch film after the game, we'll sit there and when someone makes a pancake block, we'll sit there and play it 10 times, seeing it like this is awesome. We had a couple plays on Cleveland this year where it was just like the pulling guard just wipes out the DN coming upfield, and it's like you just sit there and play it on repeat because it's like the kids don't understand. Like he doesn't make that block, you're tackled in the backfield for a loss. You're not having a 10-yard touchdown play.
That's funny. Yeah. And a lot of kids, they don't understand. When they do get it, it's also it's always great to see. You have that moment of clarity that light switch comes on.
That's right.
And you go, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" Like that's what coach has been trying to tell me for 3 years.
Yep.
And when it finally comes in motion in their head, and they make that connection, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, when they make that connection, then they stop thinking, and it's more just reaction.
Yes.
And they're able to play faster and. They just become an even better player.
So, being at the middle school, do you see our football program in the high school? Do you see like what I'm saying? Like the Wolfpack is we always say where tradition starts.
That's where it starts. That's right.
And then you get to middle school, and that's kind of like the prime.
Yeah.
Like you're still priming everybody up.
Yeah.
And then you get to high school, and it's like show us what you learned over the last 8 years or whatever, how many years you played.
I think the biggest thing is building like the community with it. These kids that grow up here and start here and go through the Wolf Pack, they start a family. You know, it starts in the wolf pack, comes to the middle school, and they work as like a team. And, you know, all those kids don't always play the position that they played in wolf pack, that they played in middle school. And they always, you know, they might be a different position in high school because the high school has their needs based on, you know, the other classes that they have and stuff.
Right.
But what I think is just so cool is to watch the kids grow from what they were in Wolfpack, what you taught them in the middle school, and then when they get to high school, it's like just wow. You know, they're just accelerating, making big plays, and it's like I remember the little kid that didn't know how to say, you know, red 24 on snap. You know, he remembered to check everybody at the line at quarterback. You know, stuff like that. It's really neat to watch those kids grow up in our community and stay through the program. You know,
it's almost like, you know, like a farmer.
Yeah.
You know, you plant that seed.
Yeah.
And then you have to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're cultivating, you're fertilizing, you're mentoring, and then to see that finished product at the end when they're a senior in high school and they have a commitment and they're going to college. Man, that's a great feeling when you feel like, hey, I was a part of that, even though they had to do all the work.
Oh yeah,
but you helped, you know, in some way to get them where they're going.
The biggest thing with sports to me is like majority of people aren't going to go on and play after high school.
Right.
You know, that's their last time they're going to take a snap. You know, I didn't play after high school at all, and but the thing with sports is it teaches you just discipline. You know, it's hard, it's difficult, especially, you know, football with the amount of like physicality that there is, but every sport's difficult, and it really teaches you how to persevere through hard things, and I think it sets you up for life, really. I wouldn't be the person I am without sports, I don't think.
Right.
Just having to go through adversity of things, and you're going to go through that in life.
Yeah, I think like sports and life go hand in hand, and a lot of them coexist. I mean, they obviously coexist, but they favor one another.
Oh yeah.
You know, like Thomas, what's the number one rule?
Focus on the next play.
That's right. Focus on the next
play. That's
play.
good and bad. That's something I never even thought of this. So growing up, number one rule: focus on the next play. I always thought was like, oh, you had a bad play, focus on the next one. You can't change the outcome. But Your Highness Morgan, he told me one day, he was like, you know, that's good and bad, right? And I was like, how have this whole time have I never thought about that? You know, you score a touchdown in the first quarter. The game's not over.
That's right.
You can't live off the high of that touchdown.
Absolutely.
Or you're probably going to lose the game, you know? That's one touchdown's probably not going to win the game. Yeah. So it's like, all right, cool, we made the play. Guess what? There's another play coming. And same thing in life, you know? Good and bad, you have to focus on the next play.
Yeah, I mean, it tells you, it teaches you about life that, like, you know, hey, every day you get a restart.
That's right.
You get a reset button. And every day when you wake up and you're thankful that you wake up. I'm so thankful every day that I wake up. You know, obviously
God's grace is new every day.
Oh my gosh. And I'm telling you that when you get that chance to redo, you had a bad day. Okay, everybody has a bad day.
That's right.
That's no different from there's nothing nobody else has never faced that you haven't. You know, like you're going to. You're going to go, you know, you had a bad day, you go to sleep, you go out the next day. Well, that bad day doesn't exist anymore.
That's right.
You can still make it better. You have a brand new day.
That's right. Every day's new.
I remember working at the middle school. I was a sub student. And there's this kid, he said something about, you know, he needed to do something. And he said, oh, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, tomorrow doesn't exist. And it blew his mind, man.
Yeah.
It blew his mind. He goes, you could see the wheels, the gears going.
Tomorrow ain't happening.
And I said, tomorrow doesn't exist. It's never coming. We always plan for it, but it's never going to get here.
That's right.
And I said, you only have today. And I don't know if that's something he'll never forget.
Yeah.
But seriously, it was like, he just like, you could see him ponder, like,
yeah,
what does he mean by that? You know, like what do you mean tomorrow doesn't exist?
Yeah,
it's tomorrow. Like tomorrow's Saturday or tomorrow's Sunday.
Right.
No,
you don't know what tomorrow holds.
No, today you only get today, and that's
right.
it. So make the best of it. And it's amazing the little things in your life that you learn along the way. Man, you know, when you're 18, you think you know it all.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows everything.
And then everything is like the most difficult situation in that
Yeah.
moment. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
I'm like, man, I had it so good in college. You know, like I thought college was so difficult. My freshman year, I was ready to quit. I had never been challenged that hard in school.
Right.
I was a very, you know, successful kid in school, graduated with, you know, above a 4.0 GPA, and never had to study a lick. I just showed up and passed everything.
I'm
And it
so
was
jealous.
it came easy to me, which then hurt me in college.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to study.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I had all the honors classes, the AP classes, and they just were a breeze. And so then go to college, and I am not the smartest kid there. Found out very quickly, and was ready to just quit freshman year, and stuck with it, thankfully, and made it through. But had to teach myself how to study.
Yeah.
YouTube University, man, that got me through college.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
lot of my calculus classes just watching YouTube videos, figuring out how to do stuff because professors don't teach you everything.
No.
And honestly, like people hate on that, but the biggest skill that I learned in college was how to teach myself things, like having the confidence of like I don't know something right now.
Yeah.
If I really put my mind to it, I can learn it. You know, it might take me a while if it's something very difficult, but I can learn it.
You know the biggest topic or the biggest skill that you can learn nowadays? Social skills.
Oh yeah.
Nobody talks anymore. They don't want to talk.
Nope. Everything's just texting, email.
They're all and
Yeah.
they're not paying attention. They're not.
Right.
They don't care.
Don't know how to hold a conversation.
Yeah. And kind of one of the reasons why. I mean, there's been several reasons why I started this whole podcast. But just to get to know people, man. Nobody talks anymore, man.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. But you go back to what you said about college.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got there and you thought, oh, I'm the smartest kid here. And then you get there and it's like that real, it's like, when you think you're the coolest guy in the parking lot, and this guy shows up.
Yeah.
And it's somebody, that's the same in sports.
Yeah.
You can act like, oh man, I'm an All-American.
Yeah.
And you get there and you got 15 other All-Americans and you're
That's
like,
right.
oh my gosh, I'm
like
not
all
even,
them were recruited too. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Highly recruited.
Yeah. And it wasn't really like I thought in my head I was going to be the smartest kid. It was just
No. You were confident though.
Yeah, I was confident because
you gotta be.
Yeah, I always did good school.
Yeah.
And so kind of to go back to like how I found this college. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do in high school.
Right.
Come junior year, like my idea was I was good at math. I was a Gator fan. I'm going to go to the University of Florida. I'll get a math degree. My mom has a bachelor's in science. I was like, I'll get a bachelor's in science, just become a math teacher, and I'll get involved in the football program there. I knew I'm not getting recruited. I'm short and slow. I'm not going to get recruited to go play football, but I had a passion for football. And I said, I'll try and find something to do, get involved in football, whether that's picking up towels and, being a ball boy, something, being a water boy. I don't know what it is, but I'll see if I can get involved in the program. Well, between junior and senior year, we went on a field trip for Avid, where we went to USF, the college that I ended up going to, Florida Polytechnic University, which is a brand new college that no one knew about. And then I forget the third one we went to. I think it was, what's down in, is it Flagler?
Oh, that's Flagler and St. Augustine?
Yeah, we went there.
Yeah,
okay.
Flagler. Yeah, that's a good college, too.
So we went to those three colleges, and when we went to Florida Poly, it was a new school, and it was just a STEM school. So it was all just science and math, right? Mm-hmm. Just basically computer science degrees and engineering. That's the only thing. And they had only been in, they had just started, and I think they were getting their first class the following year or something like that. And everyone was like, I do nothing about computers at all. Like, I was good at math, and I kind of liked tech growing up, but I played video games. I wasn't like programming anything in high school. And we didn't have any programming classes in high school at all. And so we went on a field trip there, and the school was just really cool. It was just one building, very futuristic looking building. And everyone kept telling me, Thomas, you could go here. And I was like, I don't know anything about this stuff. Like, they were like, well, you're good at math, and that's all it takes to be a programmer. That's what everyone tells you, which is a lie, by the way. There is not that much math involved in programming, just so you know. And you do like basic math. But anyways, so we go on a field trip there, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll apply here. And so we get back into school, and it's senior year. I remember sitting in Mr. Breen's class in the very back on my computer and filled out the application and apply and got accepted. And so they had a deal where you got your first year free because it was a newer college. If you were accepted, they paid for your tuition the first year. And then after that, they paid for, if you maintained a certain GPA, it was like if you maintained a 2.5 GPA, you would get 75% of your tuition paid for.
Oh, wow.
And then you would only have to pay the other 25%. Now, housing and meal plan wasn't included. And so I got accepted, and it was the only school I applied to. My other plan was just go to Lake Sumter for 2 years after if I didn't. And so I decided to go. Lived on campus there my first year, and found out very quickly I had my classes consisted of freshman year Calculus 1, Physics 1, and then Chemistry 1. And Chemistry 1 was like lab 2, so we would have to go to lab. I had no programming classes first year, so I didn't get to like see what programming was like. And then I think the easiest class was like history. And so I had never been challenged that much.
Right.
I think when we got to, I had to drop Physics 1 freshman year and retake it and take a different professor. And we got done. And I also didn't realize that in college that a B- and a B+ are weighted differently. In high school, it's a 3.0. It doesn't matter. And in college, it's not that way. So I had a couple B- and stuff like that. I had no A's on my first, end of the season or end of the year for college. And so I think my GPA was like a 2.9 or something. I never had a low GPA like that. But I was like borderline, like, if I don't get this up, I would lose my, guess my academic scholarship that you could call it. And so I was like, all right, I was very determined to like, I'm not going out like this. Like, I'm not dropping out of this. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to find a way. And I'm glad I did, because once I got through all those prereqs, I wouldn't say it got easier, but it got more interesting.
Gotcha.
I started learning what programming was, and it wasn't that programming wasn't hard. It was very difficult. Luckily, my mom has a minor in computer science, and so she was able to help me out a lot if I had questions and stuff outside of class with programming. And she always joked with me. She's like, "You're eventually going to know more than me," and which is really neat for her to be able to help me through college and stuff like that. And now me and her can have conversations about programming all the time, and that's fun. That's awesome. But yeah, so college was very difficult and challenging. But I think the biggest skill, like I said, it taught me was how to learn. And and I think the biggest thing in life is always assuming that there's something you can learn out there and not being content. And the knowledge that you're stuck with, like people think you get to a certain age, you don't need to keep learning stuff. You just have the knowledge you have, and I don't think that's true at all. There's always something to learn. Mm-hmm. There's always someone that can teach you something. It doesn't matter their age, young or old. Always have the mindset that they have something that you don't, and you can learn from them.
Well, I think a lot of people they don't realize they learn something every day as well.
Oh yeah.
You're always learning.
Always.
And with the instance or the case with your mom, what she learned, well, she wasn't going to learn what you learned because it's a little bit, newer stuff.
It is.
And then they're always coming up with different ways. Mm-hmm. There's always, look at the look at a mechanic.
Yeah.
A mechanic 25 years ago, if he walked into a mechanic shop now, he'd be like,
oh yeah.
What? I mean, there are people that do that now, but I knew if they've never seen the technology,
right,
they would think that was like sci-fi. Yeah. Like, you mean I can hook this up to the car and it can tell me exactly what's wrong with it? I don't have to like run it and go. So the videos where they show the people come in like, well, it's making this
sound. Yeah.
Like, what's it making?
Yeah.
And then like, hey, tell my wife to book the cruise. We're gonna.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a couple thousand here.
That's how, software is that way.
Yeah.
Just what I learned in college didn't get me by. I had to learn, if I wanted to learn how to program an app for an iPhone, they didn't teach me that in college. They taught me the skill how to learn a programming language. And I just went on my own and learned how to build apps for iOS. And that's always changing. Every year there's a new iOS that comes out.
Yeah. And
I just had to, this year, iOS 26 came out. And we have apps for my family's business that I work in that I built for iPhone and Android. And with iOS 26 coming out, I had to go in and upgrade our app to be supported with that. So I had to go learn what's the new stuff. Is there anything I need to change in my app? So it's steadily, you have to constantly learn, like you're saying with a mechanic, Yep. Parts are always changing, software is always changing. And if you don't keep up with it, then you'll kind of fall behind, or you have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, the whole deal with it's crazy how, I know people are iPhone, or Android. And it is what it is. You have
Team
your
Apple,
favorite.
Team Android.
Hey,
Yeah,
it ain't no different from Coke and Pepsi.
That's right.
It is not. There's
it
no
really
difference.
isn't.
There's really no difference. It's the same thing. Can you call from it? Can you text from it? Yeah. Can you look at stuff on the internet?
That's right.
Yes, it's all the same.
Yeah. It's just whatever your
Google
preference
phone
is.
and whatever. Yeah. It just you can only buy one.
That's right.
Okay. Or or you want to only buy one,
and they all market us to buy their expensive phones anyways.
Exactly. So, but you go in there and no matter what you have, it should be just straight across the board. Which I think they're kind of, they're making the plateau a little bit.
Yeah, they are with the RC messaging and stuff. Which, by the way, y'all have had on Android for forever. That's what y'all have been using, and Apple just refused to do it because they want to keep people joining because of iMessages and blue bubbles and stuff. And it was very frustrating. People don't realize like the SMS that iPhone used to have was ancient technology, like the way that I think of it. Like that's the original like text messaging encryption that we would use, which is not very secure, by the way. And the people wonder why used to on an iPhone, if you sent a picture to a person on Android and why it was so pixelated or a video, it's because it got compressed. SMS couldn't handle the file size. And so it would just compress the crap out of it. And then you would get this look like Minecraft looking old school video that pops up on your, you can't even watch. And so finally, they got pushed to have to put RCS, which is, a more modern day texting, program onto their phones, and so it makes it much better. They still have it though where you could toggle it off if you wanted to. You could still be that person on an iPhone and turn it off, and I don't know why you would, but they do have that setting where you could turn it off.
Listen, nobody has given me more crap than Coach Lawrence.
Really?
Yes.
That's funny.
He'll send something and I'll go, Ty, I didn't get it, or I'll send him something. He goes, I can't see it. I'll send him a video. Oh my gosh, it's like you might. It's like I sent him something in a foreign language. He can't read it, and I was like, and he's like, "Dadgum Goblay with his Android." I'm like, Ty, you had an Android before iPhone.
He did have an Android before an iPhone.
Yes,
I do remember that.
And he had Android when Android was like
the thing,
Android.
Yeah, because iPhones were not known to have. Like I remember the first kid that had an iPhone in, I wouldn't say middle school, and it was like one person. Everyone else had, if they had a smartphone, it was Android. Yeah. Just because it was easier to get.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that. Listen, in anything in my life, I always give both sides.
Yeah.
Look, I've had AT&T. I have Verizon now. I've had AT&T. I had Nextel when Nextel was there.
Oh, I remember Nextel.
Yeah, I had the.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, the beep beep.
Yeah.
I try to explain that to some people, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, it was cheaper to use a beep beep. It was like $1 for the whole day versus 50 cents, or I mean, it was like 10 cents or whatever to send a text."
Yep.
And also, I didn't have a full keyboard on the first phone that I had, so if you wanted to type the letter T, you had to press it twice or whatever, to get to the letter T. And it was not easy to text. It was easier to just beep beep than just to call somebody too. So like walkie-talkie.
Right. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck. The delicious mobile coffee truck that brings you the caffeination inspiration you need. We deliver signature coffee products like our Nitro Cold Brew and Caramel Frappe to any occasion or festivity. And for those who don't like coffee, we offer a variety of delicious hot chocolates, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. That's Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck.
Pat's Taps at Catfish Johnny's. Pat's Taps is Lake Panasoffke's only craft beer tap room, offering 12 rotating craft beers on tap. We also offer bottled domestic beer, seltzers, ciders, and wine, as well as a variety of appetizers and pub food. Our family-friendly tap room is a great place to hang out and enjoy some one-of-a-kind craft beer. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or the Untapped app.
water supplied by a public municipality or a private well for residential or commercial use, Purified Water Services LLC has the solutions to provide you with simply clean water. We offer a complete line of professional water filtration equipment and accessories. Soft water makes a difference you can see and feel. Water heater and appliances last longer with less maintenance. Iron and H2S filters eliminate iron stains and offensive rotten egg odors and protects your water softener equipment from iron fouling. No matter what your problem is, Purified Water Services LLC has a solution. Contact Kenny Williams at 352-446-2709. CY Western Company is located in Bushnell, Florida. It's a great place for boots, clothing, gifts, and accessories for the whole family. They are a family-owned and operated business that opened in 2008. They offer free gift bagging and layaway services, and also a 10% discount for 4-H and FFA members with proof of membership. Be sure to like them on Facebook, where customers can stay updated on sales and giveaways. You can find them next to Lowry's True Value Hardware in Bushnell, open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturdays, 9 to 5. Be sure to check out CY Western Company.
Catfish Johnny's Restaurant, served at Lake Panasoffkee and surrounding areas since 1990. For the last 34 years, we have strived to serve great food at good prices and a friendly, casual atmosphere. If seafood isn't your thing, our wings and burgers are the best around. We have our daily specials too. We are open Wednesday through Saturday. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram for more information.
Webster Ace Hardware and Farm Supply are generous sponsors for today's podcast. They have been a family-owned business for 27 years. This helpful hardware store sells items such as archery, Ariat clothing and boots, Wrangler jeans, case knives, Hammond's candies, and live fishing gear. They also have a full selection of hardware, RV supply, propane, Ben Moore, Royal & Clark, and Kingston paints. You need a barn or fencing job done? Custom barn kits and roofing metal are provided at your local Ace Hardware store. What about a new grill for the yard? Traeger, Big Green Egg, Weber, and Blackstone are found here, along with all the accessories to go with them. Stock up your workshop with DeWalt, Milwaukee, or Craftsman tools. They got you covered. Remember to go to ace.com to shop their entire line to have items shipped directly to the store. So I went to my brother was in he was in the Air Force, and he was stationed out in Wyoming. Yeah. For Thanksgiving, we went out there one year, and we stayed on base, and they had a hotel or whatever, and we went to the front office, and we're like, oh, I couldn't get the remote to work, or we didn't have a remote. I couldn't remember which one it was. Maybe somebody stole it or something. I don't know. But you couldn't work the TV because it was just acting up. So I went to the front office, and I was like, hey, ma'am, this is this, blah, 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 that's not working. And she goes, and I go, oh, my gosh, I forgot about that. It brought back so many good memories. I was like, I forgot the military had bought that out. That's why it's no longer available to the public. So
my dad always jokes, I want to go back to it. He's like, find a way for us to get those phones. And my grandpa, he's on a phone plan or whatever with my parents. And his flip phone is more expensive on the phone plan than all our smartphones, just because the demand for it, is lower, so the phone costs more. It's just hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that flip phone, my dad had a flip phone, and I was like when he was ready to trade in, I go, we're going to put that in the Smithsonian.
Yeah, keep it. I wish we would have kept all our old phones.
I have an old Motorola. So remember, I know you're younger than me. But
I still remember.
You've seen Saved by the Bell?
Oh yeah.
Remember Zach had a phone? Mm-hmm. Now that was called a brick phone because it looked like a brick. You were holding a brick.
Yep.
This was a half brick phone, so it was half the size. Okay. But it still was big.
Yeah. Those things couldn't break.
No, and you could be in Croom in the river.
Yeah.
And be like, I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
It would
and
never.
now I can be in Lake Pan and I can't make a phone call and don't have service on
Not
my
without
iPhone.
Wi-Fi calling.
Yeah, it's like, what in the world?
Yeah. But that's the difference, and you see the technology, and you go from a phone that's like I said, it's like a brick.
Yeah.
To now they did make them smaller. I don't think they made them better.
Right.
But when I had a Kia Nokia. No, not Kia Nokia. Nokia. Sorry.
Yeah.
I combined the word, Billy. a Nokia.
Yeah.
And it was like a little, it looked like almost like a phone for like a kid would play with.
Yeah, yeah.
And, dude, I love that thing, man. It was so compact. Like I put it in my pocket.
You don't have to worry about breaking it.
Yeah. Now it's like I've got a toaster in my pocket, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, technology is changing, and you know, with all the AI stuff.
Yeah.
How's AI gonna Okay, so
let's get into it.
So, yeah, we'll get into this. Let me just set this up for you. So you know, we have, I don't want to say her name out loud, but it starts with an A, right? In case I've got a device in here that's hooked up to her.
Yeah.
They're always listening.
Yeah.
We have the little plugins where you can say, "Hey, turn on the Christmas tree."
Yeah.
And it turns on, right? And so you kind of feel like on Home Alone where he's like, number 476 now. You know, like one of those, and the lights come on in the house.
Lights come on, yeah.
Anyways.
By the way, we've been watching that movie at home on repeat. My sons love it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, we got to talk about that movie too.
Yeah.
So anyways, when, you know, I would, you could say something like, my wife and I have been talking about something like, you know, we've been Christmas shopping and stuff, and I'll say something, and all of a sudden, you know, you look down on your phone, and there it is on your phone, like the technology's listening, like AI.
Yeah.
And so I'm always like, you know, I always joke around side hustles, like high paying job, you know, whatever, you know, like,
you seen those videos where people walk up to their wives' phones and jokingly say what they want for Christmas into it.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. So
it's like I want a big F-150. I want, you know.
Yeah. I need the winning lottery numbers. Yeah. But that's funny how, you know, the marketing thing is so like focused on what we're doing.
Oh yeah.
That, and, you know, and obviously when you get a phone or you get a new app, you're rightfully
you're
overthrowing your rights.
You agree to the terms and conditions that nobody reads, and reads. You just sign your life away. That's what I always joke. Yeah, you sign your life away.
Yeah, it's like, hey, and then like in 30 years we have to give we have to take your firstborn.
Yeah,
and, you know, like it's like Rumpelstiltskin or something. Like what is going on? But no, it's amazing. But the AI thing, I'm like, going back to the Christmas tree thing, I was like, hey, turn on the Christmas trees, and nothing. And he'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't find them. And I'm like, AI, huh? Gonna take over the world, huh?
Yeah. It's only as good as the people that make it.
That is true.
But there's always glitches and stuff into it. But I use AI every day for programming and stuff. It's helped me a lot. But here's the thing with it. One, it's only good as the data that we give it and what it's trained on. And so if we're only giving it, you know, what's out there on Google, it can still get things wrong. And it still does. And so you still have to kind of decipher what is, you know, true and what's not. And but for programming, I love it. It helps me write code faster. I don't have to really think about a lot of the programming languages. Like if you think about just languages in general, it's the same stuff, just written differently, right? Just like, you know, English is different than Chinese, but there's, you know, the same words, just different. And so I don't have to like focus on like, how do I write it in this language? I can just focus on the task that I wanted to do. And it's helped me be able to write, you know, 3 iOS apps and 3 Android apps in less than a year. Oh, wow. And so it is beneficial, but it's only as good as the data we give it. And then also too, the way that I look at it is it's kind of like Google. I'm sure everyone thought that Google was going to, like, you know, make people dumber. You know what I mean? Like, because they're going to rely on it. True. And I think AI could, right, if you solely rely on it, but it's just a tool, right? It can be used for good and bad.
Yeah. Well, and you know, and the thing I love about Google is not only, you know, because with the podcast and other things I do, I'll make like graphics and stuff, and it's easy to search whatever. I just use it as a search bar. Yeah. But you know, somebody that's done this. I've done it myself. You've probably done it yourself too. You know, somebody will say something. You go, I don't know. Google.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
You're like, blah, 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 blah. Like,
fact check them right there.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but it's not really that. It's more of curiosity.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like, is that true what I've heard?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we had a thing back in the day like that. It was called the encyclopedia.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid doing book reports and having to find, you know, hopefully you were lucky enough that you bought the whole set.
Right. Stuck with just A.
You'd be like, oh, man, I got it on C, and I'm like, I only got B.
Yeah, I only got up to B. Sorry.
or I was not home that week, and they skipped. I got A, B, D. What is going on here? But it was, I remember. Oh man, I remember this vaguely. I did a book report on spiders.
Yeah.
And I remember I wasn't really sure how to. I was very young, probably second grade, and I was not really sure. I tried to do this on my own without my mom and dad's help, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna kind of go through this myself. And I wasn't looking at the right paragraph, but I thought it was about spiders, and I think I wrote about like the Vietnam War or something like that. Like it was like it was something like,
just random,
like something random. Like and my dad's like reading it back. It's like spiders are like military combat, and he's like, what? I'll never forget. I'm like, well, what did I do? And he's like, Billy, you read the wrong paragraph.
That's funny.
So it's completely plagiarism because I was just word for word, just like writing down what it said, but it was wrong anyway. So, but that's what I mean. Like, we've always had these tools. You said
right
to help us. It's just in one shape or form. Going back to years, you had scrolls and whatever the scribes, whatever. And then you go from to a book, and then now it's more, for a while it was just audio.
Yeah.
Now it's all, the AI stuff is taking over.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how, I always look at it this way. Go back 100 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So 10 years ago, 2015.
Yeah.
2015, 2016, because this will be in 2026. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Which is just crazy, by the way. I graduated high school in 2016.
Don't even get me started.
10 years ago?
Listen.
I feel old.
Bro.
I know I'm not that old.
Try 26 years.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk later. But no, you go back 100 years.
Yeah.
Okay? Go back a century.
Mm-hmm.
So 2015 to 1915. That was World War I.
Yeah.
They still had like wagons with horses pulling artillery around and stuff. Dude. And you're talking about you think 100 years, that's a long, that is a long time if you're starting at zero.
Yeah.
But to see that span, you have like my granddad was in the war, both granddads were in World War II in Korea.
Yeah.
And my granddad told my dad, he's like, the first time I saw a jet fly over, he goes, I didn't know what that was.
Right.
Like, what's going on? Like, you don't see stuff like that all the time.
No.
And you're just talking about progression.
Yeah. We always talk. So I was lucky enough to know my great grandparents and just lived right down the road from us. And we used to go there and hang out and talk with them. And, they were from the older generation of, you better take time to sit down and talk with them. You better not just pop in and leave. You better have 30 minutes to an hour to sit down and talk with them. And we always say, like, my papa, like, he saw he was in World War II. And, he saw just life change so drastically by the time he lived to be, I think, 93 or 94, I can't remember.
Wow.
So he saw a lot, and he probably didn't even realize, towards the end of his life, like what technology was out there, you know, how much the world has changed. Cause he was just here in, Lake Panasoffkee.
Yeah.
And, but just from the fact of like seeing tractors show up, not having to ride a horse and buggy to town, getting a car and stuff like that. It's crazy.
It's amazing. And you like my granddad, my dad's dad, he was scared to death of a computer.
Really?
Like he didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't want to. He wouldn't even like. And he passed away in 2008. So computers had been out,
right?
But they weren't like now,
right,
where you have a laptop and we had laptops, but they were like, you gotta like.
I mean, we all carry around a computer in our pockets now.
Exactly. Now you can just use a phone that would definitely blow his mind.
Your phone can do 70% of what a computer can do.
Absolutely. Have you ever seen the little picture that they show, and it's all the things on your phone that we've pretty much replaced.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's got like, there's a calendar and there's an alarm clock, and
Calculator.
there's a recorder, like a video cam. This is like 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much all pen, paper,
Honestly, it's impressive. Like, I know phones are expensive, but think about it. We have probably like a $2,000 worth camera in our phones, just in our pockets alone, just the camera.
Oh, yeah.
So it is actually crazy the amount of stuff they've replaced with just one device.
Yeah, and you don't even know, like the thing, like you get a phone. How long does it take you to learn that thing?
Not long.
Not long, but all the hidden features.
Oh,
and
the
stuff.
hidden features. Yeah. I mean, there's stuff that I know about an iPhone just from watching videos that people don't know, and I'm like, if people will probably never know these little tricks and stuff like that they can do with the phones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like there's so much that you probably don't even scratch the surface with what they can do.
Oh, dude. So tell us a little bit more about your. You said you played in middle school. You played your 8th grade year.
Yeah.
High school. I always like to highlight our program.
Yeah. Oh, I love our program. Yeah.
Tell me what that was like.
So freshman year, I walk into the senior class is Kiki, Devin Jesmer, Clay Simmons,
Darian,
D-Dub, and Chance Edwards, dude. Peaches, Justin Howell, and for the longest time, I only knew him by Peaches. But like as a little old freshman, I think I maybe weighed 110 pounds. Walking to summer workouts, first time meeting these kids, and I'm like, holy cow, these are grown men. Like, they're only seniors in high school. I still remember today, like, how am I going to practice with these kids? Half of them got 100 pounds on me, like they're much bigger than me. And just seeing the work ethic that class had was like just an awakening of like, that's what this program is. These kids have been together for 4 years, and they were electric. Kiki went on to play, had an amazing career, and his work ethic showed. Like, everyone doesn't realize that Kiki had talent, but he had more work ethic than he had talent. And he worked harder than everybody. And but that whole class, dude, they pushed each other. And it set me up to realize, what it took to have a good program.
Right.
And, the coaches can only take you so far. And it comes down to, the kids pushing each other and having good leadership in the program to carry a team. And so, coming in freshman year, it was a very fun class to see. I only played JV. Obviously, I was small. I didn't move up to varsity. But getting to practice with those kids, getting to see, what our program was all about, the tradition, that we always talk about, it starts with the older kids, and then, and then you have to carry that mantle on. And so Reese, my brother-in-law, he was the class ahead of me. So that class was really good too. That was a very close-knit class. And that's what I saw, what it took was the brotherhood of the kids coming together. And it wasn't, talent is important, but playing together and becoming a unit of 11 players on the field is really what it takes, Knowing that my brother is going to do his job and he's got my back is the mindset to have.
Now you came in and Coach Sherman was still there.
Oh yeah.
And then you had what, 2 years with Coach Sherman?
No, Coach Sherman's last year was my senior year.
Oh, okay.
So I had Coach Sherman all 4 years.
Oh, okay. I thought you had Ty too.
No. Ty took over in 2017, which would have been my wife's senior year.
Is that that was
Carson's senior year? Yeah, that's when we technically, in my eyes, we beat Bowles. But
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, dude,
yeah. Which
I was watching some talking about that year. I was watching some film of Ace that Coach Lawrence had put up on Huddle, and of that class, and watching Malik Bell run Ace, dude. I forgot how fast Malik Bell was. He would pull the ball, and I was like, "Geez!" Like just outrun everybody. Yeah. And he was so good with the football. So that just brought that memory back of that year. But yeah, so I had Coach Sherman all 4 years. Coach Sherman's such a good coach.
Yeah.
We all, he started that tradition that we talk about. He just had a standard, and he held people to that standard.
Yeah.
And that I had a lot of great coaches. So Coach Sherman was a head coach. Coach Lawrence was the defensive coordinator. Gauntlet came in my senior year, so I got to know Gauntlet my senior year. I love me some Coach Gauntlet, man.
Yeah, Coach
Gauntlet's awesome. Such a great coach, and just great with the kids. He cares, and that's the biggest thing. Every single one of our coaches Earl, Noe, all of them, they care about our community. They care about our kids. They do it for the love of the kids. Yeah. They do not care. Obviously, they don't care about the money. They're not doing it for the money. You don't get a whole lot to be paid as a high school coach. They're doing it because they really, truly care about every one of these young men.
A lot of people don't realize, and you brought up those two names, and I just want to tell everybody, if you're listening, just to show you the commitment, Drew Noe lives in Gainesville.
Yep.
And Earl lives in Tampa.
And they drive. Every day.
Every day to school.
To teach.
To
stay after.
And coach and stay late.
Yeah.
And then they go home.
They show up on Sundays. They do coaches meetings on the weekends. Yep. They watch film. The dedication that those two alone, every single one of them have. Absolutely. But it's always blown my mind that's how much they love this program.
How great is Keith Howman?
Oh, man. We'll never have another Keith Howman, man.
What a segue that was, right?
Dude, how great is Keith Howman? I will never forget. I'll never forget. This was my, aha moment of high school football. We're in a JV game, first game of the season, and we're not tackling a soul. And I forget what team we were playing. We were missing tackles left and right. Coach Howman was chewing us out. Rightfully so. We deserved it. We weren't making tackles. We weren't doing our job. And he made us do tackling drills all halftime. We got up and we got into angle tackle and we wrapped up and tackled. We ended up winning the game, I don't think, but we did tackle a little bit better.
I want to say that was Tavares. No, but was that Tavares?
I don't know. It might have been Tavares, but we got chewed out on the sidelines, and he made us do angle tackle.
There was a game where I was up there filming, and at halftime they were doing tackle drills.
Yeah,
and so I was like, that's the only one I can remember, and that wasn't Tavares. But I don't know if that would have been. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but it might have been that long ago.
Talk about just a selfless person.
Yeah,
always doing stuff for other people, just like the little things.
Yeah.
I taught a year at the high school, right? And so Coach Howman, he taught PE too, but he was also, the AD. Took over for, Coach Sherman when he left. And I'll never forget, I walked outside of my classroom. It was during, my planning period. And it was during the time where, everybody was running for something. So there was posters everywhere and stuff. And a lot of them blow over on the ground, and, there's trash just all over. And Coach Howman was out there picking stuff up as he walked by. It's like those little things.
Yeah.
People don't see that. It's like he didn't have to do that. That's character.
Character, yeah.
He's doing something that he's doing the right thing when nobody's looking.
That's right.
And you don't even realize the things that man did for the program. That now he's gone. It's like, oh wow, Coach Howman took care of that. Nobody realized he didn't ask for praise or anything. He just did it because it's what he did. This type of person. You lose a big time not just coach, just person.
Yeah.
And he's still around, but it's just
yeah.
So many good memories, Coach Howman. Coach Howman.
So I always joke. I'm like, that's the reason why we got the turf field was because Howman was retiring,
right?
And there's nobody to paint. Nobody was going to paint the field.
I had to paint the field all 4 years. I would always get pulled out of PE to go help paint.
Oh man, you wouldn't have it any other way though.
That's right. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
They trusted me to go do it.
Dude, one time I wasn't there, but I heard Keith was, he painted the whatever with a little machine.
Yeah.
And he had a screwdriver down there, and he would just pull it, and it would yank and pull the screwdriver out, and he would just, pull it all the string. Well, he's pulling. That thing went and shot. It hit him in the jug.
My gosh.
Yeah. He almost died painting the field for us. So,
Imagine.
the man gave it all.
Yeah, he
did.
I'm saying. Yeah, he did.
Not to take it away from any other coach, Coach Coburn.
Coach Coburn too. Yeah, I didn't even get done listing all of them. I had such amazing coaches. Yeah. Everyone asks, how do you, I didn't play after high school. I just mimic all the good coaches I had. Yeah. We're such a blessed community to have. I always say we have the best coaching staff in high school football in the state of Florida. Yeah. I mean, we're just lucky to have.
We really do.
The knowledge that we have, but also just like the passion that the coaches always gave. And they were always coaching kids up. They weren't just standing over there goofing off and watching practice and just showing up just to say they're a football coach. They were coaching the whole time. They cared. They cared about every young man out there.
And having you say that, I just want the community to, that's why I always say it. The community needs to know that, and our kids need to know that.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes the kids go, oh, well, they're just a coach. No, they're not just a coach. They're more than just a coach.
They're a father figure to these kids. And
absolutely.
Yeah, it's bigger than wins and losses to me.
Yes, absolutely.
I love to win the football game. I'm the most passionate person out there, and I care a lot.
Yep.
But the biggest thing is making sure we're raising these young men right.
Absolutely.
That's what matters, and that's what every single one of these coaches that I had growing up, that's what they cared about.
Yeah.
They cared about the integrity of the kids. And that was the most important thing. And a lot of wins came with it because of just the culture that was built, the honesty that was in all of it.
Do you feel like that's going away in most schools? Like you don't have that same feel like you go to other schools and I don't want to say transfer portal, but basically you have a transfer portal
and even
high
school. Yeah, with open enrollment. I think it can get harder. I think around here, we're just lucky to have the people that have stayed for a long time.
Yeah.
People aren't looking to leave. You know what I mean? There's plenty of the coaches that could have wanted to go take head coaching roles somewhere else with the kind of knowledge that they had, but they stayed here.
Right.
And, Coach Gauntlet came from Tavares. He was the head coach over there and came over here and he's the defensive coordinator, right? He's an assistant coach.
Yeah.
He could be a head coach, but he cared about the culture that was here. He cared about the coaches, and
absolutely.
He fit perfect for the program.
Yeah, I've said this before on a previous show, but I did a coach's like a training class or whatever, and the guy that was in charge, he knew all our guys.
Yeah,
and there was not, how some people you'll talk to them and you'll say, you can read. I'm a really good body language person, so I'm like, you get that vibe when someone's not really a fan of somebody.
Yeah.
That not one time did they, when we mentioned coaches' names or like, hey, this is our coaching staff, he was just like, oh my gosh, this is some great guys.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that you want.
Oh yeah.
To have, and that a lot of programs would kill to have. I mean, they don't have that.
Sure.
They don't have that the loyalty.
Yeah.
Not just coaches.
It takes consistency, man.
Yeah.
When Coach Sherman took it over, it took a lot of work to build stuff up, not knocking anything that came before him.
No.
Great coaches before that and
Right.
stuff. But it just takes consistency. You have to be patient. I think in today's world, everybody wants instant gratification. And that's kind of the downfall that I see with a lot of things is just if I'm not getting what I want here, the grass is greener somewhere else. Let me just go somewhere. And it's the easier out than, all right, let me buckle down and work harder.
Yeah.
The easier thing for me in college was to quit.
Yeah.
That was the easier thing to do.
Yeah.
Things got hard. I persevered. There was a lot of nights that I wanted to quit, but I just ducked my head down and kept working, and that's what I think it just takes is to do that instead of just leaving, and the thing is kids are young,
Yeah.
They're going to make mistakes and they're going to learn from those mistakes. I learn from more mistakes than I do successes,
Yeah.
You think about the things that you screw up on more. And you learn a lot quicker from that because you don't want it to happen again.
You know why it's easy to quit something?
Why?
Because it doesn't cost anything.
That's right.
It's just like, hey,
it doesn't cost any hard work.
It's a decision.
Yeah, it is.
That is so easy to make.
Yeah, it's a quick out.
And you can avoid that with just like hard work or something like that, where you don't even have to even think about that. But the easiest thing to do in your life is quit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the hard part is maintaining that whatever you're doing.
Yeah, showing up every day.
Yeah. So I mean, I just like you said, instant gratification. Some of these kids, and I wish all the kids had a chance to like taste success. Go from. I know there's a lot of kids that don't have a chance, but I want them to have that chance.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to have the things that make it so hard for them to decide on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do I choose my family over this? You know what I mean? Like, that happens,
Yeah.
Making their choices less difficult, let's say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But every kid deserves a shot.
Oh, for sure.
And then, but it's just so hard now.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to be seen. But now it's, it was hard to get in college.
Yeah.
Before. Like, hard to get to college.
Right.
To be seen.
Yeah.
Now you can be seen. Now it's hard to stay in college.
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
Yeah. Yeah. There's always challenges. Nothing
Golly.
is like, given to you easy no matter what,
No.
Everything takes hard work.
It does, and like you said, when we talk about sports, coexisting with life, you don't show up to work,
Yeah.
you get fired.
You get fired.
But
Yeah.
it's just like in sports, you don't do your job. That's
You're going to lose your job. That's exactly it.
There's who Greg Williams is, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love
Yeah.
Greg Williams. He has this. He was on Hard Knocks one time, and he says, they're going to a film, and I think he's talking to someone on the defense. I want to say defense line or linebackers. He's like, look, if he gets to, and he draws the line on the whiteboard. He goes, if he gets past this line, you, me, we're all fired.
Yeah.
But he threw some expletive.
Oh, yeah.
He goes,
it wasn't that
fired.
nicely put. Yeah.
But it's true.
There's some,
You go to work,
Yeah.
you don't do your job.
Don't do your job.
Guess what? They're going to find somebody to do the job.
Yeah, they are.
So.
And it stands out. I mean, that's like, hard work is something that like I pride myself in. And it's not like pointing at me, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have any of the talents that I have. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have the knowledge that I have. And, but that's something that I will always, growing up, just was instilled in me by my dad, my coaches, everyone in my family was like, we're going to be known for working hard. We might not be the smartest people in the room. We might not be the strongest. We might not be the tallest, but we're going to be the most hardworking.
Yeah.
And I think that gets you far in life. People appreciate the effort. People appreciate and notice it. It sets you apart from other people because it takes sacrifice to work hard. It doesn't. It's easy to sit back and watch other people do the work and things and just kind of take a back burner on life and anything you do in sports. Be in the back of the line. You might not do the things the best, but that effort is always noticed. That's the first thing I notice in kids when I'm coaching them is the effort that they give. And I tell them all the time. I said, I don't expect you to know everything, but I expect you to give 100% effort. You go 100%, I can coach everything else.
True.
But if I have to coach your effort along with coaching the skill, we got a longer road ahead. So just give full effort on things.
I was going to say when I was in the App State, I went to see Pap up there. And, and went in their locker room, and they have a big sign, and it said 10 things that don't require talent. Yeah. And it's like hard work. And there's a list. I was trying to pull it up. I'll have to find it, but just the whole thing. Yeah. And it's absolutely true. People think, well, some people have to work harder than others, and that's true. Yeah. But there's also people that their character is way better than the talent. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Oh yeah. Because that character, your talent will only go so far. Yeah. But your character is what you are. That's who you are.
Yeah, for sure.
I like to tell our kids that, little things. I always try to tell them, at the end of practice, the parents are like, let's go, and we always talk to the kids, circle around. You know how it is.
It's an important time.
It is.
To reflect on practice and tell the kids, how practice was. And,
So I try to use my time as a teaching moment.
Oh, yeah.
So one time I said, and I'll, sometimes it goes over their head, and I understand that. But I'm hoping one day they'll remember that as a kid. That it'll be so bizarre that they'll remember it and they go, "That's what he was talking about." Mm-hmm. So,
no, it's important. They're not thinking about it right now. But you're instilling those little nuggets of truth and stuff into them that is what shapes them into becoming the person that they are. Right.
Mm-hmm. So I'll say, one time I said, "You guys, y'all know how the cat ate the rock?" And all the kids were like, "What?" And I go, a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
and they're all like, I had coaches look at me like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, think about it.
Yeah.
How do you do something? You just,
A little bit at a time.
man. Hey, did you get a degree like the first day you showed up?
No, it took time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Showing up each day, a little bit.
Showing up.
Yeah.
Showing up.
If you look at it from a big picture, it's going to be daunting and you're never going to want to do it. You just got to start and keep it small. That's how I do it. That's how I write every single program I've ever written. Was if I look at the big picture, I will never start it because I'll be overwhelmed and anxiety will hit me and I'm like, I can't accomplish that. But if I just every day go, okay, I'm going to accomplish this little task and do it, eventually I have this cool thing that I've made. And that's with everything in life.
I love listening to Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
And he tells a story how when he was a kid, he said he was trying to do something and he told his dad, he said, "Dad, I can't do it." And his dad said, "I'm sorry."
Oh yeah.
Don't you mean you're having trouble? Mm-hmm. And he said, "You're having trouble with whatever you're doing." And he gave an example how he was trying to mow the yard and try to crank the mower. And he goes, "Dad, I just can't do it. I can't get it to start." He said he went out there, tweaked this, did that. Mm-hmm. Took about 10 minutes, fired right up. He looked at him and says, "You were just having trouble."
Mm-hmm. It's a mindset.
It is. It really is.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is people let these things get so big.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about being overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I've said before, you know, you'll overthink something so bad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like one time I had try to put weed eater string on. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, wait a minute. There are people that don't have teeth that can do this. You know what I mean? Like they're on the side of the road.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
if we rely on our minds will do that to us. They will worry us to death.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Our minds, they take our fear and make it reality.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they go, and then what happens? There's a lot of what ifs.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
well, what if this happens?
Mm-hmm.
What if this does happen?
Yeah.
Or what if this happens instead of that?
Yeah.
How do you? Who's to say?
Yeah.
I mean, you're never going to know unless you try it,
right?
Or do anything.
Yeah.
I always tell my kids, I'm like, look, you got to learn things on your own.
Yeah.
I didn't learn where I was going in Orlando by just driving over there one day and I go, yeah, I got the full layout now.
Yeah.
This is before GPS.
Right.
I went over there and I got lost on purpose.
Yeah.
Where does this road go?
Mm-hmm.
Where does this road go? Oh,
yeah.
If I just make it to I-4, I know I-4 goes right through Orlando. It'll go coast to coast. Mm-hmm. Where's the turnpike? Get lost.
Yeah.
In your life,
don't be scared to make mistakes.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Don't be scared to make mistakes.
In your life, there's going to be times where you are going to mess up, and it's going to happen. And it's not like it's your first time ever.
No. And shoot, the people that have all these big companies, Microsoft, Apple, they didn't just wake up one day.
Failure.
They started in a garage like this. You know what I mean? They worked through the failures. They figured it out.
Yep.
That's just life.
It's crazy how it's more so today that people think if I'm not making $1 million my first year, I'm a failure.
I'm a failure. It's like, wow.
I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Can you believe
if you're driven by money only, that's probably not the field you should be in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It should be passion. You know what I mean? Like you enjoy doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Right? That's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
You know? And that's like coaching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, you can go on and be a professional, coach in college and stuff and make it a profession and stuff. But I guarantee you most of those coaches do it for the love of doing it.
Oh,
you know?
no doubt.
The money's a nice bonus.
No doubt.
But you know what I mean? Like they're doing it for the love of the game.
You know, people define success with money.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not entirely true. Mm-mm. Because you can be successful and not, like the old saying, you can have all the money in the world.
Yeah.
If you have nobody to share it with,
yeah,
then the people that have no money and have a big family,
that's right.
They're just as rich as that person.
That's right.
And you don't realize that until you're in that predicament.
Oh yeah,
or
for sure.
or you're out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You were in there and you go, you know, I've told my wife, it's like, look, if we ever win the lottery, you know, what's the first thing people say? We're going to get a big house.
No, yeah, they list all these things. Yeah.
I'm not saying
you're not going to splurge a little bit.
there will be signs, but I'm not saying I won't show up to work, but there will be signs.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's that gratitude.
Yeah.
There's the ability to be. I'm so thankful for what I have. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Thomas. I mean.
Oh yeah, blessings, man.
Bro, it
is great.
People they take it for granted, all the good things, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're right now with church going through a sermon series, gratitude.
Yeah,
man. It's been great. It's been great because it's so easy to just be like so focused on the next thing in life.
Yes,
to forget the good things that you've been blessed with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That, like, you know, we have a healthy family, right? We have a house that we live in. We have our vehicles that we drive. We have our jobs, you know. We're always wanting the culture here in America is always like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? And it's like, it's so cool right now, the sermon series we're going through, to like just sit and be thankful for the things that you have and live in that moment.
Yeah.
And because you're going to miss it. You're going to look back and go, man, I did have it so good. You know, I chased this. Like, I wish I could go back to that moment, you know, with my kids little and stuff like that, where it wasn't as busy, you know. You
know, there's nothing that, you know, sometimes you're on social media and you see these reels and some of them, like, automatically they'll hit you hard, man.
Yeah.
They will hit you hard. Mm-hmm. And one of them is, you know, over the holidays they show a lot of these, and they show like an old video of grandma's house, and they've got that music playing in the background.
Yeah.
And it just, the nostalgia, bro.
Yeah.
Is like, the nostalgia hits you so hard. Or, you know, they showed the kids playing in the living room. There's 3 kids playing, they're little.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it snaps
and
it's a quiet room.
Yeah.
And there's nobody there but
nobody
them.
there. Yeah.
And it's like,
it goes by quick.
It does, man. And that's what I mean, you gotta enjoy the moment. But sometimes you just gotta be still.
Yeah.
You know, you get all worked up and you go, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how this is going to work out.
Yeah.
And if you just let God do what He does.
Oh yeah, man.
It all works out, man.
It does. It really does.
And the thing is,
if you're putting Him first in life, and you know, you're glorifying Him with everything that you do.
Yeah.
And things are going to work out. So people get stuck on like, am I doing the will of God? And, you know, Justin had a sermon one time where it's talking about, don't be so focused on like, am I choosing the right thing? It's like, okay, are you going to glorify God with what you're doing?
Yeah.
If you are, then it's the right thing. That's the will of God. That's what we're supposed to do with our life. And so, like, it's like, don't get so caught up on like, should I take this job? Should I stay at this job? It's like, okay, well, which one are you going to honor God with? Are you going to honor God with the one where you're going to make more money, but are you going to be consumed with it, and that's going to be your God? You know,
exactly.
So it's like, it's those things, you know.
Well, it's just like I saw a video the other day. This lady was talking about how, you know, people don't think when they give what they have, it's enough. Yeah. And she was talking about the parable about not the parable. It was when the fish. Yeah. The was it 5 fish and the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish or whatever. Yeah. The numbers I'm probably flip flopping. But
it doesn't matter.
But regardless, the miracle.
Yeah, the miracle. Yeah.
They said that mom didn't pack that lunch just for any reason. Right. She packed that lunch for her child. Mm-hmm. And that's all she had. Yeah. She gave what she had.
That's right.
And it's not what she didn't have.
It's not the amount that you're giving. It's the heart behind it.
Exactly.
It's the heart behind it.
It's how you're giving it. Mm-hmm. And you're still a part of something great. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like without that, right, this doesn't exist. Yeah. And again, being that unsung hero.
Yeah.
You know, without your help, by doing this, you know, this doesn't happen, or that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
So
God loves using people that, you know, aren't the flashiest, you know, aren't the smartest, because guess what? It shows that he did it, not you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Thanks for watching part 1 of this 2-part podcast. Check out full episodes on YouTube and Spotify.